Very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. At the start of a brand new week, lots making news. Let us start the news bulletin with the headlines. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Malawi on third and final leg of his Africa visit. Several agreements to be signed after talks with President of Malawi. Vice President to also address India-Malawi business meet. Praises Indian community's significant contribution during a diaspora event on Sunday. Campaigning picks pace for first phase of Chhattisgarh polls. BJP President asks Congress to clear stand on the issue of Naxalism at a rally in Rajnandgaon. BSP chief targets BJP and Congress during rally in Janjgir, Champa. Last date for withdrawal of candidature for the second phase of polls in the state. Congress releases second list of candidates for Madhya Pradesh. Sri Lankan President announces the reconvening of Parliament on 14th of November. In dramatic turn of events in October, Prime Minister Wickremesinghe was sacked and Mahinda Rajapakse sworn in, triggering political crisis. The President had also suspended Parliament till 16th of November. US sanctions against Iran's oil exports to kick in today. India likely to be among 8 nations to get a waiver. Sanctions on Iran's vital oil sales and banking sectors to try to force it to scrap its nuclear energy and ballistic missile programs. And India win first of the 3 T20 matches against West Indies by 5 wickets at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Kuldeep Yadav picks 3 wickets. Shuttler Shubhankar De clinches the 2018 Saarloor Lux Open Badminton Tournament in Germany, beating British challenger in singles final. The top story, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu reached Malawi on the final leg of his 3-nation Africa tour after visiting Botswana and Zimbabwe. The Vice President will hold delegation-level talks with the President of Malawi later today. Both the nations are expected to sign several agreements. He is also scheduled to attend India-Malawi business meet and visit State House of Malawi. And later in the evening, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will attend the opening of a Jaipur foot camp for the fitment of artificial limbs under India for Humanity theme. And earlier praising the Indian community in Malawi for making significant contribution in economic activities, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that India is on the move and global organizations like the World Bank and the IMF have also appreciated the country's economic progress. Citing the success of the introduction of the GST regime, Venkaiah Naidu said in October the GST collection crossed a record 1 lakh crore rupees. Naidu said that India is on a course to become a 5 trillion economy by 2025. Naidu also quoted the World Bank's Doing Business 2019 report, which said that India, which advanced to the 77th place in the global ranking, is now the region's top-ranked economy.
My dear sisters and brothers, India is one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. With a current growth rate of this quarter is 8.2%, is on the course to become a 5 trillion economy by 2025. The Indian story, as it is unfolding today, is a very promising one. India is moving fast forward to transform itself into a modern 21st century inclusive economy. Towards this end, our government have taken a number of measures. I am happy to note that despite being less than 1% of the total population of Malawi, you have made significant contribution to find a place of leadership in the economic activities of this country. Some of you have attained positions of excellence in your respective professions. I am extremely happy to note that you are providing leadership in various sectors.
On to some other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the measures announced by him for micro, small and medium enterprises will add strength to the sector. He also said that bigger markets and better opportunities for the micro, small and medium enterprises was a win-win situation. The Prime Minister had on Friday announced a slew of measures, including sanctioning of loans of up to 1 crore rupees to small and medium enterprises in 59 minutes through a special portal. The Prime Minister's response was to a user's appreciation for the steps taken by the government public sector companies, which are mandated to source 20% of their annual procurement from MSMEs, and they will now have to source at least a quarter of their requirement from the sector. Also, 3% of sourcing by public sector undertakings should be done from MSMEs run by women. Also, all central public sector enterprises will have to take the membership of the government e-market to facilitate online procurement of common use goods and services by various government departments or organizations. And as Diwali celebrations begin across the country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appealed to people to make purchases keeping the poor in mind. In a video shared by Health Minister J.P. Nadda, the Prime Minister extended Diwali greetings to all and said that while making purchases of clothes, diyas or any such items during the festival, citizens must bear in mind the benefits that unknown people behind the manufacturing of these products would get.
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, क्या हम खरीदारी करते समय सोच सकते हैं कि मैं जो चीज खरीद रहा हूं उससे मेरे देश के किस नागरिक का लाभ होगा, किसके चेहरे पर खुशी आएगी और गरीब से गरीब को लाभ होगा तो मेरी खुशी अधिक से अधिक होगी। इस पवित्र पर्वों के लिए मैं आप सबको हृदयपूर्वक बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
On to some other news now. About 75 lakh new tax files have been added to the income tax payers list in the country this fiscal till now. Now, as per the directive of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, the target for the taxman is to add 1.25 crore fresh tax filers by the end of the 2018-19 financial year that ends in March next year. The department last fiscal had added 1.06 crore new tax filers to the income tax net during the 2017-18 financial year. The new income tax filer is defined as a person who is not included in the tax filing base at the beginning of the year, but who files the return during the year. And now let's get you all the election-related news. Well, today is the last day for withdrawal of nominations for the second phase of elections in Chhattisgarh. 72 constituencies in the state will go to polls on 20th of November in the second phase. Chhattisgarh has 90 constituencies and here assembly elections are scheduled to be held in 2 phases on 12th and 20th of November. Meanwhile, in Madhya Pradesh, the Election Commission has said that maps of the polling booths will be printed on the backside of the voter slip in the assembly elections. Single-phase voting will be held for the 230-seat state assembly on 28th of November. Campaigning has picked up pace for the first phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and star campaigners of different parties are touring Bastar and Rajnandgaon areas to garner support for their candidates. BJP President Amit Shah addressed election rallies in Huji, Kairagarh and Kondagaon constituencies of Chhattisgarh. He asked the Congress party to clarify its stand on the issue of Naxalism. BJP President said that Congress sees a revolution in Naxalism while the Bharatiya Janata Party considers development as a revolution.
रमन सिंह जी ने चावल देने का काम किया, रोड बनाने का काम किया, गांव-गांव में बिजली पहुंचाने का काम किया, आदिवासी बच्चों के लिए छात्रालय बनाने का काम किया। मित्रों, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी विकास नहीं कर सकती। कांग्रेस पार्टी ने देश में कहीं पर भी विकास नहीं किया है। नक्सलवाद से मुक्त छत्तीसगढ़ चाहिए तो कांग्रेस पार्टी नहीं दे सकती। केवल और केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी और हमारे नेता डॉक्टर रमन सिंह जी नक्सलवाद से मुक्त छत्तीसगढ़ को दे सकते हैं।
Meanwhile, Bahujan Samaj Party chief Mayawati, while addressing a public meeting in Janjgir Champa district, alleged that the anti-schedule caste and anti-tribal governments of the state were responsible to compel the people on path of Naxalism and violence. She said only if the coalition government comes into power will there be progress for all sections of society.
हमारी सरकार बन जाती है, गठबंधन की सरकार बन जाती है, तभी फिर यहाँ सर्व समाज में से खासकर दलितों, आदिवासियों, पिछड़े वर्गों, मुस्लिम व अन्य धार्मिक अल्पसंख्यकों के साथ साथ गरीबों, मजदूरों, किसानों, व्यापारियों एवं अन्य मेहनतकश लोगों का सही विकास व उत्थान हो सकता है.
News from poll-bound Madhya Pradesh. The Congress party on Sunday released its second list of 16 candidates for Madhya Pradesh. The list includes 5 sitting MLAs and several new faces. The party since Saturday has declared the names of 171 candidates for the Madhya Pradesh Assembly elections. Senior Congress legislator Ram Nivas Rawat has been re-nominated from Vijaypur seat in Shiopur district, where he will be pitted against BJP's Sitaram Adivasi. The party has nominated a new face, Siddharth Lada, against Yashodhara Raj Scindia, MP, minister and a member of erstwhile Gwalior royal family from Shivpuri. The Congress has announced its first list of 155 candidates on Saturday, in which it had re-nominated 46 sitting MLAs. And in Telangana, the election authorities have asked the Telangana government to initiate necessary action over the allegations that public relations officers working with caretaker ministers were involved in canvassing for the TRS on social media. In his 31st of October letter to the State General Administration Principal Secretary, the Additional Chief Electoral Officer drew his attention to the complaint made by some journalists at a recent press meet that PROs were allegedly posting party programs in social media groups, particularly on WhatsApp. The letter requested the government to accord top priority to the matter and take necessary action, keeping in view the Model Code of Conduct and furnish a compliance report. Remember, assembly elections in Telangana are scheduled to be held on 7th of December. Those were news from all the election-bound states, and right now we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. News from Kerala. The Lord Ayappa temple at Shabarimala in Kerala opens today for a special puja, and a thick security cover has been put in place after violent protests that were witnessed last month against the entry of women of all ages into the shrine. Around 2,300 personnel, including a 20-member commando team and 100 women, have been deployed to ensure smooth darshan. Prohibitory orders under Section 144 of CRPC banning the assembly of 4 or more people is in force at Pamba and also nearby areas. Now, this is the second time the Hill Temple would open for darshan after the Supreme Court allowed entry of women of all age groups into it. Meanwhile, a high-level meeting of senior police officers was held to take stock of the situation. News from Jammu and Kashmir. The Jammu-Srinagar National Highway was open for one-way traffic after being shut for 18 hours because of heavy snowfall and landslides. Jawahar Tunnel, the only all-weather road linking the Kashmir Valley with the rest of the country, was open for traffic coming from Srinagar to Jammu after 9 hours of clearance operations. In a major overnight rescue operation, over 700 stranded passengers were evacuated from both sides of the Jawahar Tunnel. In addition, 1,000 civilians who were struck in other parts of the highway were also provided food and shelter in Banihal by the police and the civil administration. The Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik took stock of the situation arising due to heavy snowfall and ordered immediate restoration of essential services such as road connectivity and electricity in the affected areas. It is for the first time that the Kashmir Valley has received snow in November since 2009. Srinagar recorded the season's coldest night so far at minus 0.4 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, neighbouring Himachal Pradesh also witnessed heavy snowfall in higher reaches and rain across the state. Now, this has dipped mercury by several notches in Himachal Pradesh, and Shimla and Manali witnessed rains, while other hill stations like Kalpa and Chitkul in Kinnaur district and Kelong in Lahaul Spiti received the season's first snowfall. Manali, which saw a low of 2.2 degrees Celsius, experienced 40 millimeters of rain. The state capital, however, saw mild rains and recorded the minimum temperature of 7.3 degrees. And the mercury dipped, of course, across Delhi NCR region as well due to this. Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh also saw a dip in temperature due to chilly winds from the mountains. And light rains in Chandigarh and surrounding regions also pushed the mercury down with about 19-degree drop in day's temperature. On Sunday, the maximum temperature of Chandigarh was 25.5 degrees, which is 4 notches below the season's average. News from the Delhi and NCR area. The signature bridge connecting Wazirabad across the Yamuna River to the inner city was inaugurated on Sunday. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal unveiled the bridge and it will be open to public from today onwards. The signature bridge, which has a 675-meter long cable-stayed section, is built over Yamuna River and it will reduce the travel time between north and northeast Delhi. The bridge will share the burden of the Wazirabad Bridge and connect the outer ring road on the western bank of the river with Wazirabad Road on the eastern side. Inaugurating the bridge, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and his deputy Manish Sisodia said that it will be a centre for attraction among local and international tourists who come to Delhi to visit historical monuments. We'll take another short break here. Up next, we have all the international and sports news. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. And now news on ongoing political crisis in Sri Lanka. In further dramatic turn of events, President Maithripala Sirisena has ordered Parliament to reconvene in 10 days, a week later than expected, prolonging a bitter power struggle that has crippled the country. The Parliament would now reconvene on 14th of November. The announcement drew sharp criticism from the party of the country's sacked Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, which decreed it as too late and said that the move would only lead to bargaining and defections. The announcement on Sunday came amid mounting pressure to let legislators hold a vote in order to resolve a protracted political crisis over two rival prime ministers. Remember, Sirisena had suspended parliamentary proceedings till 16th of November after abruptly firing Prime Minister Wickremesinghe last week and replacing him with Mahinda Rajapaksa, a controversial former president. The United Nations and many Western countries had urged Sirisena to summon the House immediately after Wickremesinghe called his 26th of October sacking as unconstitutional and refused to step down. Meanwhile, in an interview, Sri Lanka's deposed Prime Minister Wickremesinghe said that the United States and Japan had frozen more than $1 billion of development aid after his abrupt dismissal raised doubts about the future of democracy in the island nation.
A lot of projects are held up. For you to get money from USA, that's held up on the Millennium Project.
Which one? Sorry?
Millennium Challenge project. That's
this is $480 million.
for nearly $500 million there. Then I think the Japanese soft loan has been held up. The light railway.
$1.4 billion.
Yeah, so that's held up.
And American sanctions on Iranian oil exports officially resume from today, the most stringent set of punitive measures since Washington withdrew from the 2015 landmark Iran nuclear deal known as Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Now, the sanctions target both Iran and the states that trade with it. It will hit oil exports, shipping and banks, all core parts of the economy. Meanwhile, thousands of Iranians are chanting death to America rallied on Sunday, rejecting calls for talks. The demonstrations took place on the 39th anniversary of the occupation of the US Embassy in Tehran. Now, Iran has remained defiant, saying that it is confident it can weather the impacts and that the US will fail to bring down Iranian oil imports to zero. Iran's military was also quoted as saying that it would hold air drills on Monday and Tuesday to prove the country's defensive capabilities. However, fearing reprisals, European and Asian companies have already cut back purchases of Iranian oil. India is among the countries that have been granted a waiver from the US sanctions on Iran.
Iran sanctions are very strong. They're the strongest sanctions we've ever imposed. And we'll see what happens with Iran, but they're not doing very well, I can tell you. Iran is not doing very well. It's a big difference since I've been in office. When I came to office, if you go a day before, it looked like Iran was going to take over the Middle East. It was a question of literally less than years, very quickly. And now nobody's talking about that.
On the sporting action now, India defeated West Indies by 5 wickets in the first T20 match at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata, chasing a target of 110 runs. The men in blue clinched victory in just 17.5 overs with 5 wickets in hand. Dinesh Karthik played an unbeaten knock of 31 runs, while Krunal Pandya's quick-fire inning of 21 runs helped India seal the victory. And for West Indies, O'Shane Thomas and skipper Carlos Braithwaite took 2 wickets apiece. Earlier, batting first, West Indies scored 109 runs in their allotted 20 overs. Fabian Allen scored 27 runs for West Indies. And for India, Kuldeep Yadav was the pick of the bowlers as he took 3 wickets. An Indian shuttler Shubhankar De clinched the 2018 Saarlouis Lux Open Badminton Tournament in Germany. Shubhankar defeated 5th-seeded Rajiv Ausuf of Britain 21-11-2014 in the men's singles final, and he got the coveted title. Early in the semi-finals, he had defeated China's Peng Bo-ren 21-18, 11-21, 24-22. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching and wishing you all a very happy Dhanteras.